This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they match up with a former league MVP, Matt Ryan, and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action,
lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
We play to win. Let's go! Down, ready, you ready? Come on, team! Check 50, check 50.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep hope.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Ryan. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And the tight end Luke Stocker was the target. And now it's 2nd down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass, because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the number 1 overall passing team in the NFL, but it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And that'll wind up moving the chains again, as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 17 carries, 67 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to him early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman. His 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 24, Wilson forced out to his left. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson now operating from the gun. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
3rd and long. It's Wilson dancing to his left. Boy, he almost did that himself, but it looks like he's about a foot or 2 short. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
First down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. This is Carson. They find some open field here. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. 46 yards on the ground. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Touch 50, touch 50. Check, go, guys. 4 down, 4 down. Let's go.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Marvin Jones. His 4th touchdown on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point up and through by Myers. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And we are tied at 7. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 Series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL Championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the screen. Safety screen. Check 37, check 37.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there in that scramble.
To throw is Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic. This is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
And Jennings has it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Let's make these babies proud all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies proud.
They'll run on first down. Carson And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Check, check. No. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Check. I'll go special. I'll go special. Check.
They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play.
Go. Gotta go, in and out, let's go. Check 59, Mike is
on 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And Myers able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10 to 7. Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A gain of 7, and they pick up the first. Now Wilson on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go. Watch the whip.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Out to his left. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Single, slot.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Ryan, that's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. And Freeman lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Marvin Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up. Freeman again. He is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Dances by him. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Eluding the pressure right. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down.
Good. Let's go double count right here. Double count.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Wilson on the keeper. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. This time, Wilson will throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Hey, alert!
Tighten up.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Mike, check. 50
All go special!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Being chased out left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will make this a 4-point game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point fourth-quarter lead. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Wilson. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Throwing is Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught by Penny. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch twins. You got tight. You got tight. You got alert. All go special. Switch. 66. Pull it. Half. SOS. Kill.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Wilson to throw. It's caught. Jones. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
First down.
Back to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. Throw.
Here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
59.
Throwing now is Wilson. The quick slant caught. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. They come out here in the eye. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson with time running out, and the Seahawks are going to retake the lead.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Now Ryan. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now they burn the timeout. And they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.